it's Alison from Qualitas. How are you doing today? I hope you're all having a great day wherever you are. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about quality tools that you can use to prevent defects. I was taking a walk the other day with a friend of mine, and as we were walking across we noticed, I'm going to put the photos up here so you can see them as well, is that the road had actually collapsed and all the tarmac had disappeared into a big hole by the side of the pavement in one area. It was quite shocking actually, and you could see that the road is fractured. I'm going to put the photos up now so you can see. So if you look at both the block paving and the road, you could conclude that this is really bad workmanship, which it is on one hand, but you think, how did somebody hand over this? How did somebody not notice? But this situation may not have been evident at the time of the handover. It's what we term as a latent defect, because it's a defect that has always been there, but it wasn't detected until a later date. And in this case after the handover, many years after the handover. And it may have looked completely level at the time of the inspection, and it may have looked acceptable, but it's only through settlement and traffic in the area, foot traffic and from pedestrians, because there's some offices nearby, and we've got delivery lorries and cars and on the roadside. So this is now added to the situation that was already always there. So it's a ticking time bomb, let's say. So our key question here is, could this have been prevented, and what is the cause of this? Well, I see several issues with this. Now, we weren't there during the installation, so we can't actually say what the actual cause was, but we can only piece together the information that we have. So we can ask, were the operatives trained and competent to perform the task? Were they properly supervised? Was the specification correct, and was it followed? Was the build-up correct with the correct depths, and was it inspected throughout each stage of the construction? Was there an attempt to save money by cutting out some of the work, maybe cutting out some of the depth and hiring the equipment for less time than is required? Were the necessary tests done, such as, say, compaction test? All of these questions would need to ask to find out what the cause of this defect is. So let's have a look now at some of the tools that we can use to carry out the installation of our work. So one of the strongest quality tools is an ITP. So this is an inspection and test plan. This document details out each of the steps that you need to take to arrive at your end result. So you'll get this information from your specification and your contract. So in the specification it will detail how the depths of the base coat, or that you may need an intermediate coat or a top coat for this particular road construction. It will also set out and give you the tests. As a contractor, you should know which tests you need to do on what to make sure that you do comply with the manufacturer's requirements or the contract specification requirements. If the specification requirements are incorrect, that actually you need less of a coat, but less of a depth, but you think you need more, then you need to raise that as an RFI or a change, variation. Because it's really imperative, you're the expert in the construction, so you need to also guide the client if the specifications sometimes are copied and pasted and the details may be incorrect. So in the ITP, you'll also set out which tests that you need to do and at what times you need to do them. So where in that process do you need to do the compaction test? Where do you need to do the binder test, for example? Who needs to inspect that? Is it done in a laboratory? How do you take the samples? Can you do any inspections on the site or tests on the site? All of this need to be laid out in your inspection and test plan. It will also detail who is responsible for those inspections. So your first port of call is anybody who's doing installation work is responsible for their own work. It isn't for somebody else to come in and tell you where you've gone wrong. We always must do a check ourselves. When we're putting together an invoice, we don't put the invoice together and then think, oh, I won't bother just rechecking the figures. I'll let someone else tell me and we just send it out. This is not what we do. So it's the same with our construction. We need to do the first check and make sure that we actually did comply with the specification or the technical requirements of that installation. Then we may get a third party, so this could be a quality person, it could be the supervisor, it could be the engineer, but we can then get a second opinion on that, and they will also check that we've met the requirements. Often, if we're looking at the same installation day after day, we may miss something that's quite obvious. We may not have noticed, or maybe we were having a bad day that day and we forgot to finish off one area. So it's always good to have another pair of eyes to pick up these things. So our ITP would then be accompanied with a check sheet. So that check sheet would guide the operatives into all of the different stages that they need to do to reach that end result, and it would match your inspection and test plan. So I hope this information's been useful. Please let me know any comments down below. If you need any more information, please don't hesitate to contact me through the social media channels or through our website qualitas.com, and where you can find other content about what inspection tools you can use for your installation works. And we always must remember we need to not only think about completing our projects now, but preventing any latent defects in the future. Thanks for watching.